Hey readers! In this video I want to talk about ADHD and why ADHD is not what you think it is. A lot of people believe that ADHD is some kind of brain malfunction or brain deficit. They believe that you're born with it and they believe that it can't be fixed, but in many cases medication can fix it. That's what they believe. However, you can't prove that ADHD is a brain malfunction that you're born with and that you can never fix. What ADHD really is just a name for a list of symptoms. But because people believe that they're born with a disorder with ADHD, then they don't think about what the causes of these symptoms could be. And there are a lot of possible causes for these symptoms. So symptoms like hyperactivity, impulsivity, a lack of attention, a lack of ability to finish your work, a lack of discipline and order, those are symptoms of ADHD. There are many possible causes why people could have those symptoms. So first of all, the attention part. Many people come to me and tell me, oh, I can't focus, I think I have ADHD. So they have a problem with their attention, with their focus. Think about it. We live in a society in which big money is being paid to gain your attention. Think about advertisement. Many corporations pay big money to get your attention. And they don't just pay a lot of money, but they also have a lot of tricks to gain your attention. Back in 2014, I did a minor in university, which was called Influencing People, and it was about marketing. It was actually about the psychology behind marketing. It was about how to influence people, how to gain their attention. We actually had to read this book, and the English version is called Make It Stick. It's written by Chip Heath and Dan Heath. They describe a lot of psychological tricks how to gain people's attention. So think about it. You live in a society in which all these corporations are trying to take your attention because your attention is valuable. Your attention is worth a lot of money. And it's also that when you paid attention to something, it costs energy. So imagine focusing for about 1 hour on a particular task. Then after that hour, you have become tired because paying attention costs energy. When you're walking around and everything is trying to gain your attention, then there is not a lot of energy left to focus on your tasks. And it's not just advertisement, but also things like these devices. They take up a lot of your attention. And there are a lot of other things in this modern world that take up your attention, take up your energy. And so some people, they are very disciplined. And discipline is a choice. It's not some kind of skill, it's a choice. Some people are disciplined and they eliminate all the distractions from their environment, and then they're able to do their chores. But a lot of other people, they are being distracted all the time, and then they can't focus on their tasks anymore. So this is one of the reasons why people think they suffer from ADHD. The second reason what might cause the symptoms of ADHD is lifestyle. There are people that drink like 6 cans of energy drink every day, and they smoke a lot of cigarettes, they don't work out, they have a very unhealthy lifestyle. They spend a lot of time on their phones until 3 o'clock in the night, then they sleep a few hours, and then they have to start their day. And then those people think they have ADHD because they have a hard time focusing, and they have all these sugar rushes that make them very impulsive and very hyperactive because they drink energy drink all the time. So this is an extreme example. It could be even worse, but a lot of people, they have an unhealthy lifestyle. And an unhealthy lifestyle has an effect on your body, but also on your mind. And imagine all those children that get a lot of candy every day, and then they become hyperactive. And then the parents, they say, oh, I think my child has ADHD because he is so energetic. Yes, of course, you're giving him a lot of sugar every day. And also those drinks, like all those sodas, like Coke, there is a lot of sugar in them. And people just feed their children these things, and then they're surprised that their children are hyperactive and have a hard time focusing. And then what a lot of people do, they think that medication is a solution, but the medication is not healthy. Medication for ADHD is actually some kind of cocaine. It's not healthy, and it gives a lot of side effects. So you're actually poisoning your body with your unhealthy lifestyle, and then you're poisoning it extra by taking medication. The third reason why people might experience symptoms of ADHD is because of a stressful life. Some people have a lot going on in their lives. So they have a very demanding job, they have a whole household, they have to take care of the children, they have problems in their families, problems in their relationship, and so much is going on in their lives, and they can't deal with it anymore because it's too much. And then they feel like, because everything is chaotic to them, they feel like they're not in control anymore because so much is going on. Then they feel like they have ADHD because everything becomes a chaos. And then they feel like the chaos is their fault because they have ADHD. But some things you just can't help, and some things are related to unresolved trauma. Unresolved trauma is a fourth reason why people might experience symptoms of ADHD. A lot of people have unresolved trauma. So they had a traumatic experience in the past, maybe in their childhood. And because it's too painful, they just put away the memory and put away all the emotions that come with it. But they changed their behavior. They have a coping mechanism to survive that period of time. It worked back then during the traumatic experience, but later on it doesn't work anymore. But they stick to this behavior, and then because of that behavior, for example, pleasing other people is often a trauma response. But when you do it later in life, when you keep pleasing people, then you create a context around you that is going to be extremely stressful for you. So unresolved trauma and a stressful life are very much linked together. But then people feel that they have ADHD, but it's not. It's unresolved trauma and a very stressful life because there is a lack of boundaries in your life. The fifth reason why people might experience symptoms of ADHD is because they feel that things that are actually normal are not normal. So, for example, a lot of people believe that it is healthy for children to be in a classroom all day long, sit still, and listen to the teacher. And when a child has too much energy for that and just wants to run around, play outside, then people feel like that is not healthy. But the thing is that the new standard in life, in this society, that children need to sit still in the classroom, listen to the teacher all day long, that's not healthy. So this is all about perspective. The same is with many jobs. It is not healthy to sit still all day long behind a desk and stare at a computer screen. That's not healthy. That's not normal. But people feel like it is normal because it has been normalized in this society. But actually, how life was meant is not for children to sit still all day long, and also not for adults to sit still all day long. That's not what life was meant to be. So then the question becomes, what is unhealthy here? The child or adult or the school system and society? Which one needs to be changed? So that's all a matter of perspective. The sixth reason why people might experience symptoms of ADHD, especially in their children, is actually because of bad parenting. It's easier to blame your child than to blame your own parenting skills or to blame your own unhealthy lifestyle. It is often that parents lack rules for their children, lack discipline, and they also lack routines. And so a child has a lot of need for stability and for safety, but a lot of parents can't seem to offer that to their child. There are a lot of broken families in which the mother has one boyfriend after the other and the father also has one girlfriend after the other. And then the child bonds with a new person every time, but then the child learns eventually that everybody that he bonds with is going to leave him, which is actually very traumatic. And then of course the child has response to that. You can see it in a child's behavior when a child doesn't feel safe anymore, when there is a lack of rules, when parents make a mess of their lives, and when there is no safety for the child is going to show certain behavior. When a child doesn't feel safe, it's going to show certain behavior. And for these parents, the reason behind the bad parenting and the many relationships of these parents is actually also unresolved trauma. They have a lot of unresolved trauma from their past and they don't know how to deal with it. And because of this unresolved trauma, because of this unresolved pain, it is too painful to take a look in the mirror and to actually blame your parenting skills and your unhealthy, unstable lifestyle as a reason for the behavior of your child. No, it's easier to say, oh, my child has ADHD. Give him medication. That's easier for me. Then he calms down. Then I don't have to deal with the consequences of my behavior. You see how it works? It's really sad actually. And so the seventh and the last reason why people think they have ADHD is because there is a whole industry behind it. In society, this whole idea is being pushed. Why? Because there's money to be made. When you can convince people that they or their children have ADHD and that they need medication, there is a lot of money going on in this medication. A lot of people make a lot of money out of the whole ADHD medication thing. And it gets even worse because, at least in my country, the Netherlands, and I know this is also the case in Belgium, the parents get money from the government. It's about 3,000 euros each year when their child is being diagnosed with ADHD. So for a lot of parents, of course, this is very nice that they can get a lot of money when their child is diagnosed with ADHD and gets the medication. The medication is free anyway in our healthcare system, but then they get extra money. So for them, it's an extra incentive to get their child diagnosed with ADHD. For the schools, of course, it's also way easier when children get diagnosed with ADHD, they get the medication, and then the teachers don't have to deal with very energetic children. And also, in my country, they're always cutting down on education. So every time the classrooms become fuller and fuller and fuller, but the fuller a classroom, the harder it is to stay in control as a teacher. And then it's easy to say, oh, he needs medication, he needs medication, he needs medication, to quiet them down. And of course, there's this whole industry of people who make courses, who offer therapy, who offer tests for ADHD. There's a lot going on around ADHD, and there is a lot of money being made around ADHD. In the end, I don't believe that ADHD is a thing. I believe that people experience those symptoms because of the society that we live in, with all the distractions, because of an unhealthy lifestyle. You can experience these symptoms because of the standards of this society that we live in, what is being perceived as normal, because of stress, unresolved trauma, bad parenting and because of all the financial reasons behind it why it's being pushed. I think that explains a lot more than saying that more and more people have some kind of brain disorder. No, I don't believe that. I believe there are many reasons to explain those symptoms. And I also believe that there are many ways to deal with those symptoms and to fix certain things. But some people, they think it's easier to just take medication than to actually fix their problems. So let me know in the comments what you think about ADHD and how it's being perceived. And for now, I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching and keep reading, guys.